Now, of course, every speaker always walks on and says to you, I am delighted to be here, it's such a pleasure. In fact, one day, I will start a speech with saying I really didn't want to be here, just to see what happens. But I am excited to be here today. And I tell you why I'm excited to be here today. I'm excited to be here because of your strapline. Because of this idea that when we meet, we change the world. And this is what I want to speak to you about today. But I think when we meet, we change the world is too easy. What I really want to prove to you today is that the only way to change the world is to meet. The understanding that actually success is the same as it ever was. It always was and always will be about building relationships. Whether you're a for-profit or not for-profit, whether you're a governmental, whatever you are, your success comes from building relationships. Then, on the other hand, we've got organizations that try to engineer a sense of community. Now, this is an email I got from Amazon.co.uk. I live in London back in August. It said, Mr. Gobillot, or Emmanuel, they call me Emmanuel, it's a groovy business. Emmanuel, we know you buy a lot of books. We've been talking to people who buy books like yours, and here is what we recommend. We recommend you buy the following books. We think you're going to like them. Now, I'll tell you what, I know I'm going to like them because I wrote 2 of them, okay? They're good. Don't get me wrong, they're good. There is something really sad, though, when you start buying your own books, all right? And this is what we take as being relationships. This is called customer relationship management. A, I don't want to be managed. B, we haven't got a relationship. The only truth is I'm your customer. So how do we engineer those relationships when we face with this kind of organization?
Now, the problem for us is that those 2 worlds don't work very well together. Now, I've told this story many times. I apologize if you heard it before, but it's worth telling again, I guess. I have a daughter, Charlotte. She's 12 now. But when she was 8, Charlotte came up to me and she said, Papa, that's the only French she knows. Terrible. She said, Papa, I want pocket money. Now, do you have children? Put your hand, if you've got children, put your hand. Right. So you are normal parents. So you hear that, you've got a choice, yes or no. I'm a leadership development professional. I'm thinking this is a learning opportunity, right? And I'm going to try to teach her the value of money. That's what we're going to do through this exercise. Now, I'm a bit of an HR guy, so I know my incentive schemes. So I think, okay, darling, this is what we're going to do. We're going to have an incentive scheme for the pocket money. So if you come to my place, there is a flip chart on the fridge, because HR people, we always have flip charts at home. So I got a flip chart on the fridge, and this is what it says. It says, for brushing your teeth every day, you will get 10 pence. For brushing your hair every day, you will get 10 pence. For tidying your bedroom every day, you will get 10 pence. For doing your homework, you will get 40 pence, because in France, education is more important than hygiene. So that's kind of how we work. I've got to teach you the cultural values at the same time. For not shouting at your brother, we will call this a stretch target. It's unlikely to be met, but it's motivational. I will give you £1, okay? Doesn't matter. It's never going to happen, so you can make it huge if you want. So payday is on a Sunday. We're sitting at home on a Saturday. And I said, darling, I call her Lulu. I said, Lulu, listen, you've done well this week, but you haven't tidied the bedroom. I said, Lulu, how about you just go and tidy the bedroom, and then we can do the sum, and you'll have the whole thing. You've missed the stretch target, but that's okay, darling, because that's only motivational. Okay, we know that. So she goes off for about 10 minutes, starts on the bedroom thing. And 10 minutes, not a sound coming out of the bedroom. Now, for those of you with children, you will know 10 minutes with no noise means trouble, okay? Something is going on. So I go upstairs and I open the door, I push the door, the toys are in the way, the whole place is still a mess, and Charlotte is lying on her bed, painting her nails pink. And I said, Lulu, we had a deal. All right, I've been in the UK for 25 years, so I don't just hit her anymore, right? Which is what French people would have done. I try to talk first, okay? So Is there like a social services association thing? Am I in trouble now? So I go, look, Lulu, I said, we had a deal, right? We had a deal. You were going to tidy, you were going to get the 10 pence, it was all going to work. And she looked at me with the most beautiful eyes in the world. She said, Papa, I've been thinking. You know, for 10 pence, it's just not really worth it, she said. So now this is okay, because you know that in terms of incentive scheme, the rule number one is you've got to make the price commensurate with the perceived amount of effort. So you just have to increase the price. But that's not the big lesson. The big lesson was about a week later when I said, look, we're going to see Grandma and Grandpa today. So Charlotte came rushing down the stairs, went straight to the kitchen, straight to the fridge, straight to the flip chart. She looked up and she said, how much is it for Grandma and Grandpa? Because it's just not on there, she goes. Charlotte is now on sale on eBay. If you want children, you don't have children, just have a word. Make me an offer. No, I tell you, the thing is, you know, I've been doing this for a few years. We've been doing it in organization for about 150 years. By putting an economic incentive in place, you actually actively destroy social and moral obligations. Charlotte cannot remember anything unless she's paid. She will not do anything unless there's cash attached to it.
Now, for the last 6 or 7 years, I've been running the same experiment. In most of the meetings or workshops I attend, I give a test. The test is an arithmetic test. It's a very simple test with simple additions, multiplication, subtraction. I give it to very senior leaders, and I said to them this, look, this is a test which my 12-year-old daughter Charlotte can do. She can do it in about 35 minutes. I'm not going to tell you how long you've got. I'm just going to tell you to do as many as you can, as quickly as you can. Now, if you're a psychologist, you know that at that stage, what's going on in people's brain is very simple. They're thinking, I'm going to beat that child. I don't know that girl, but I hate that girl. And she's half French. I doubly hate her. So they go and they do the test. Now, here is what happens. 80% of people in the room will get the test wrong. Why? Because they forgot to read the 2 lines at the top, which simply say, every time you see a plus sign, multiply. Every time you see a minus sign, divide. There's a couple of lines of instruction, very simple, which all of them miss because they're too focused on beating the child. Now, the second thing that happened is a couple of people in the room always get it right, about 20% depending on the number, but about 15 to 20% always get it right. They do a few less, but they do them right. And they feel really proud. But here is the problem. In doing this test to probably now over 7,000 or 8,000 people, I have never yet found anybody who has stood up in the room and said, by the way, there's a trick. In fact, not only do the people who complete it right feel good about themselves and the fact they've beaten everybody else, once a lady turned to the gentleman next to her and said, oh, by the way, there's a trick. And he turned back and said, shut up, I'm working. We have created, through this Elvis fallacy, a world where the people who have the right information in the room fear standing up and telling everybody else, or feel proud of watching the people alongside them fail.
And we say, okay, this was a great conversation, I'm taking stuff away. I'm not taking anything away. You know, the thing about leadership, nobody will ever tell you, is this filmed? Is this going to be posted on the web? Edit that bit out. Because nobody, this is the secret of leadership, right? Leadership is dead easy. Get the right people, get them to do the work, sit back, relax, enjoy the show. You're getting paid more than they do, and you're doing very little. It's brilliant, okay? That's the thing about leadership, right? Now, the problem is leaders don't understand this. So they actually destroy motivation. Leadership is not about creating motivation, it's about making sure you don't destroy the one that you had in the first place. So actually the problem with most leaders is they tend to do too much. They want to do the thing. The biggest call I get out of anybody I work with who gets into a senior leadership position is they call me and they say, you know, I hate it. And they say, the reason I hate it is because I just don't do anything anymore. It's meetings and meetings and meetings and meetings, and I used to do stuff, and I used to be energized by doing stuff. And I go, hey, welcome to the club of people who don't do and just happen to be paid more, okay? Because that's kind of what leadership is about. It is not about doing, it's about how can I channel that energy. Here's me. You can find me pretty much anywhere. I will not charge you anything if you get in touch, okay? I will not charge you for emails or calls, so if I can help you in any way, shape or form, I will, until the day where you become a bit of a stalker, and then I'll just ignore you. But you won't be charged, you'll just be ignored. So if there's anything at all you didn't understand, want to challenge, want to talk to or whatever, then please do. And in the meantime, how about that? Look at that. I can't say it, but I can write it, and I've checked the spelling. Thank you so much.